Alrighty. Um, all right then. My name's Thurpin James. For those who don't know me, if you've never heard of me, I'm an author. I am first book is called How to Read 50 Books in a Year Like a CEO. Uh, I've written two more books after that. I don't talk about them too much because they're just for fun. Yeah, those are my first a little bit about me. Besides being an author, I'm a multifamily real estate investor and syndicator. So I'm actively looking for deals, looking to network with people who want to passively invest. And I do this YouTube channel. I'm just getting started. But the whole intent for what I do is I just want to add value to people. I want to, give them some insight into some of the books that I'm reading currently and just kind of, teach people about, different aspects of business, life, and see if I can add value to anyone. And if at any point you got any questions, just shoot them down in the little, live chat section, and I will hopefully be able to see you and get to you once I can. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna leave this little message in the chat just before I get started, and I'm just gonna probably give people maybe a couple of minutes in case anyone's like, taking a moment to get on. Okay. But yeah, regardless of whether I have anyone watching me or not, I'm just gonna still just hope to add value, and maybe if you find me later, either way, just gonna add value. So the three books that I'm gonna be discussing in this broadcast are gonna be the Millionaire Booklet by Grant Cardone, Boss Moves by Myron Golden, and the last book is The Secret Door to Success by Florence Scovel Shinn. If you've never heard of any of these people before, it's okay. There's a lot of people out there in the success space. And Florence I don't believe she's still alive because she's a much older author. But anyway, so I'm gonna go on to the first book. So I kind of put them in my little whiteboard behind me, and so I'm first gonna start with the Millionaire Booklet, just because it's the shortest, it's the simplest, and that's what I love about it most. So I'm gonna go over that. So in the Millionaire Booklet, Grant Cardone, he talks about the 8 steps needed to become a millionaire. And they're really simple and to the point that anyone could act on them. And so the first thing that you must do in the path to becoming a millionaire is first decide to become a millionaire. It's really simple, might sound kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like much, but it really is. Becoming a millionaire is a decision. Deciding to no longer live as a poor person or be middle class, that's a mindset. And so, that's one of the first steps in the millionaire booklet he mentions is, decide to become a millionaire by all means necessary. Decide that that is what you're going to become. Now, second step in his book he mentions is do millionaire math. And what he means by that is really simple. Like, do the math on what it's going to take for you to become a millionaire. And so, a few different examples are Maybe you have a $50,000 a year salary, times that by 20 years. That's one way to make $1 million. Another way would be you sell a $1,000 product to 1,000 people. That's another way to do it. Basically, just doing the math on what it's going to take for you to become a millionaire. So that's one of the steps he mentions. And there's a lot of different ways you could do this. You could get into sales, you can own a business, you can own investments, but you just got to do the math on you on, becoming a millionaire. Now, third step that he mentions, really obvious one, increase income. And by that, doing anything you can to increase the income in your equation so that you can get to becoming a millionaire faster. So that could be you getting a second job. It could be you learning how to sell. It could be you building a business, you owning investments, or real estate, or doing you know stocks. There's just a lot of different ways, but basically the focus for any millionaire is you got to play on offense, not defense, because you don't save your way to $1 million. You earn your way there. And so yeah, another thing, just increasing income. That's the third step. And then the fourth step is real. I love Uncle G when he says this: "Who's got my money?" And meaning, once you've decided on that millionaire math, you have to then go find the people that can, give you what you're looking for. But also, it's not just transactional. It's you give them, they give you money in exchange for you providing a product or a service to them. So, for instance, if you're a car salesman, for instance, you're looking for people that have money to buy cars, right? Obviously. Or if you're in real estate, finding people who have capital to invest. Or if you're a business owner, finding clients that can, meet you know, your needs. So yeah, that's one of the ones. Just who's got my money, like, and then also you have to be able to be willing to go follow the money, meaning like don't just go start something just because you want to, but actually knowing that there are people with money willing to exchange their money for what you provide. Number five is he makes the concept of staying broke. And by staying broke, by no means does this mean blow all your money, be stupid, go, get $5,000, go buy a new car or buy some Louis V bag or whatever. That's not what he means. What he's saying with stay broke is you should be earning capital and putting it somewhere to work, or it should always have like a purpose. So, for instance, maybe you decide you're gonna take $5,000 and you're gonna store it away in a Roth IRA or an investment account that you can't even touch or see. Basically, he just wants you to live, below your means, um, and also like put all of your money to work because, money doesn't sleep, but it does get bored, is what he says. And what he means by that is if you're not intentional with where your money is going, it's either going to get spent, blown on something stupid, or wasted. This is generally what's going to happen with it. So by staying broke, you're always putting your money to work somewhere. So yeah. Now, by all means, I do want to also throw this little caveat in there. Now, this obviously this is after you've paid for all your, normal expenses and things like that, as well as taking capital and always relying on yourself to go get more and more capital. Because if you're always broke, you always got to go get earn more so that you can, take care of your needs. So yeah, so that's number five. And number six is real simple. Uh, Save to invest. Don't save just to save. And what he means by that is that the purpose of saving money should be so that you can invest it, to get you closer to that millionaire target even faster and increasing your income and everything else in mind. With you investing capital, it's the quickest way you're gonna get to the millionaire status. Saving does not do anything for you just because of inflation, as well as money has to move, it has to flow, it has to work, and like I said earlier, you have to play offense um, when it comes to becoming a millionaire because you don't save your way to $1 million because by the time you do that, the value of money is going to change over time as well. So like I said, like he says, number six, save to invest. Don't save just to save. Now, also number seven is having multiple flows of income. Now, I do also want to throw in a caveat here. Now, this does not mean out the gate you go try to build multiple streams of income. In fact, what he actually prefers is someone build one stream of income, like keep it steady, keep it, you know, big, or just keep one flow of income, and then build a second stream of income that's symbiotic to that first stream. So, for instance, if you do real estate, hypothetically, maybe you own multifamily, and then you get a second business that is another income stream for that multifamily property, besides your tenants, paying you. So that's one little nugget there. And then also, the goal should be to at some point diversify your income so that you're having multiple flows of income to, catapult you further towards that millionaire target. And then number eight, super simple: repeat, reinforce, and hyper focus. And what he means by that is simple: just basically do those other seven steps and repeat that. Just and then go all in until you're a millionaire. So yeah, those are the tips from Grant's book. Now we'll go on to the second book, which is one of my favorites of this year of 2022. One of the most impactful books I've ever experienced is Boss Moves by Myron Golden. Just a little bit about Myron. I don't know why I feel inclined to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So Myron Golden, he's a entrepreneur, and his like I guess you could say claim to fame is he teaches entrepreneurs biblical principles and applies that to their business and their lives. And he's made a killing doing it, and he's freaking awesome, man. But anyway, so yeah, I got his book, Boss Moves, and it just he talks about a few things. So he talks about the three keys to being a boss. And so those three keys are: one, you have to have a business model; two, you have to have a business market; three, have to have a message to your market that matches. With that, so we'll talk about the business models. And so he calls them all different things in his book, but I'm just gonna go based on the principles that he mentions in the book. So you have a low profit, low volume business model. And one of the easiest examples you could think of this is like a job. Um, you know, there's not much room for growth there or anything, and it's low profit, low volume. Is you're not deal And by low profit meaning you're not making a whole lot of money, and low volume meaning you're not dealing with a lot of clients. So then with that, then you have the next model over, which would be high profit but low volume. So one of the easiest ways I guess you could think of this is like we'll use like a salesperson, right? So let's say you a realtor, right? Let's say you sell a home, make 5 grand on that single transaction. Now it's a high profit, transaction for you, but It's low volume because you only sold one home. Um, then next model over would be low profit but high volume. And so the one of the examples he uses for this is one that we're all pretty familiar with, which is Walmart. So with the low profit but low volume, so with Walmart's business model, they sell things like as dirt cheap as possible. So they're making low profit, but because they're doing so much volume, they have so many stores, so many customers coming in every single day. They make a lot of money just by that. So yeah, that's the other business model. And then the fourth business model, which we should all strive for, is what he calls the wealthpreneur, which is basically a high profit, high volume. So an example of this would be, let's say you do a high ticket offer, like hypothetically. So let's say I guess we can go back to the same realtor. So let's say you got a realtor that sells luxury homes, and let's say I'm just gonna be like real generous, and we're gonna like hype up this realtor beyond normal means. So let's say for every transaction, on average, they make about $10,000 per transaction, and this realtor, um, let's say they're crazy. They have a big team, and they sell 1,000 homes a year. That would be about $10 million. That that realtors team has made. So yeah, that would be an example of like high profit, high volume. Um, then besides that, besides those four business models, and I'll reiterate them, it's low profit, low times low volume, um, high profit times low volume, and then low profit times high volume, and then high profit times high volume. Then the four boss moves that can be applied to any business, doesn't matter what you're doing, but the four boss moves that can be done to grow any business. Uh, Number one is lead generation. So by increasing the amount of leads that your business has, by default, you're gonna have more sales, which is gonna obviously grow your company, right? So increasing the amount of leads. So basically lead generation. Step number two that you could do is lead conversion, meaning if you had, let's say, 100 clients and you only sold about 10% of them, and let's say you, I don't know, let's say you made $10 per client, that would be about $100. But if you improved your sales process, so increasing your sales conversion, and let's say that went up to 20%, now you just made $200 just by, converting more in your sales process. That's another route. So lead conversion. Then number three would be customer ascension, and that one's basically once you have that customer, let's say you go from they're cold, they don't know you, to they bought from you. Now you have another offer for them. Like let's say they bought that $10 offer, and now you have a high ticket offer for them. And let's say that's, I don't know, 10 grand, whatever, 15, 20, 30 grand, whatever. That would be an example of like customer ascension. So they first bought from you at $10, and then they found that you had another offer at 10,000. And so, you're sending that customer like in your, business pipeline, so to speak. Then another step, the last one, is customer retention. So this could be you selling software as a service, or some monthly service where you now have that customer paying you residuals each month just to, maybe be a part of your mastermind, be part of your community, or whatever it is that you have to offer them as like a you know, a residual for your business. So that's one little tidbit. Then my last book on the presentation I was going to mention is The Secret Door to Success by Florence Scovel Shinn. So this book, I have been studying it for weeks, and it has just gems on gems on gems, like on every page. I can't get everything in it, but I would highly recommend this book to anybody. But yeah, anyway, these are just some of the nuggets that I kind of summarized from the book. And it's not everything, but it's just some of the things that I got from it. One of the things she mentioned is the path to success is the straight and narrow. It's not you going to the left or you going to the right. Success is the straight and narrow. And meaning you are, you know, completely focused and, you know, and you're just staying your lane towards the goal and target that you've set out to achieve. Next point that she mentions is success is not a secret, success is a system. And what that means is, success isn't like a secret. It really isn't. Like, what success is just systems. And so it's systems for how you live your life, systems for how your business operates, systems for how you think, systems for how you deal with customers, your product, your whole process. Like, success is a system. So yeah, one of the favorite things I've picked up from her book is just success is a system. Then another one is you attract what you think about. And with that, Florence uses some several examples with some biblical stories, as well as just referencing just everyday people. Like, we attract that which we think about. So if we're thinking about lack, poverty, we're going to attract lack and poverty into our lives. It's just, but at the same token, if we're thinking about success, abundance, joy, happiness, we attract those things into our lives. So yeah, that's another little nugget from her. And then also your words and thoughts create the life you have. And with that, our words and our thoughts are like a radio, like radioactivity, meaning that based on the frequency or the type of thoughts or words you're expressing is going to dictate what life you're creating in the outer world that you live today. So same principle applies. So if you're thinking about happiness, joy, success, that's a frequency that's like up here. If you're thinking, "Oh, I'm okay, life's kind of, mediocre," that's a frequency as well. And then if you're thinking, "I hate my life, everything's miserable," that's a frequency as well. That's why you always hear, like attracts like. You're never gonna be seeing, like, if you even notice, like the happily married people hanging out with happily married people generally, you're gonna see those who are divorced and single are generally hanging out together. So things like that as well. And then also, so the law of vibration. And so with that, we, like I said, just like frequencies, we attract that which we vibrate to. Meaning, if we're vibrating towards success, abundance, joy, creativity, so on and so forth, we will, attract those things into our lives. As well as it could be seen as, if you're trying to like implement this, what this could look like is, let's say you want to, I don't know, buy a new bedroom for or buy a new home. One of the things you could do is go check out homes, so that way you're vibrating with that which you want. um, and another thing you could do is, there's the law of expectancy, meaning, that which we expect is that which we get. So if we're expecting to succeed, we will, attract those things into our lives, the people, the experiences, these all the necessary resources like financially. If we're expecting to win, we will attract that to us. If we're expecting things to be hard, we're going to attract difficulty and so on into our lives. Then there's the law of indifference. And so the way she describes this is that um, basically we should be indifferent towards that which we want. So if your goal is to have a spouse, for instance, your goal should not be to obsess over finding a partner. It should just come naturally to you. You act towards it. Doesn't mean you do nothing and just everything comes to you, but rather you're indifferent. You and then as a result of that, things kind of flow to you in their proper time. Another one is intuition versus the intellect. And so the way she explains this is she uses this great phrase. Prayer is us telephoning to God, and intuition is God telephoning to us. And so with that, with intuition, that is our sense of the divine that guides us to perfect outcomes, the unexpected, the miraculous in life. Whereas with the intellect, it's limited. It goes off of reasoning, not the unexpected, not the world of the miraculous. And so with that, she talks about you get to decide which one do you want to live with. Do you want to live with the intellect, which is limited in what it can produce for you, or do you want to live with intuition, the connection to the divine and the miraculous? Then the other thing she mentions is just get rid of your fears and your doubts. um, because success requires you to get rid of that past self, that because with fear and resentment, those emotions get in the way of you being a success. Then lastly, she also talks about the spiritual attitude towards money. And so with the logical mind, the reasoning mind, um, that attitude towards money is simply to have a trust in your salary, your income, your investments. That is the material view towards money, whereas the spiritual view towards money is in the now, and it believes that God is your supply. Um, there is no lack. There's always plenty. You overflow with abundance, even if you were to lose money, you would know that it would come back in some other way, shape, or form. So that's what it means by the spiritual attitude towards money. So yeah, those are the three books that I wanted to go over. I truly hope this adds value to somebody, and I'll go over some of these really quickly. So with Grant Cardone's book, first step to becoming a millionaire is just decide to become a millionaire. Do millionaire math. So for example, 1,000 people buying a $1,000 product. Number three, increase your income. Number four, ask who's got my money. Seek out those who have what you're looking for. Number five, stay broke. Always have your money working. Make sure it has a purpose. Number six, save to invest. Don't save just to save. Number seven, have multiple flows of income. Number eight, repeat, reinforce, and hyper focus on the previous steps. Then with boss moves, gonna go over those as well. The focus should be to pick the proper business model, whether that's a low profit by times low volume, or if you're going to do high profit versus low volume, or low profit versus high volume, or high profit versus high volume. And then also the four boss moves towards growing any business, which is increasing lead generation, increasing your lead conversions, meaning improving your sales process, customer ascension, so basically offering high ticket programs or offers once you've already gained a new customer. And then number four is customer retention, so finding ways for your customer to pay you residually every month. Um, and then also just go over Florence's book real quick. Just some of the more important things are have the law of indifference, meaning to be indifferent towards the things you want. Just trust and know that they'll come to you. The law of vibration, meaning you can only attract that which you vibrate to. Get rid of all of your, negative thoughts, negative emotions, so that you can create success. Also, the law of expectancy: expect to succeed, expect to win, and have faith, take action towards making that thing happen. And also, success is not a secret, success is a system. And also, the path to success is the path of the straight and narrow. It doesn't waver, it's hyper focused on achieving the thing that you've set out to do. And also, lastly, you attract that which you think about. So, hope this video is added value to you in any way. If there's any way I can possibly add value to you, if you're looking to invest passively in multifamily real estate, or even you just want to, talk to me because you think I'm interesting for whatever reason, or you just want to learn about some of the different books or the way I think, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, it's just my first and last name, Thurbin James, and on Instagram, it's Thurb Z and B. On Instagram, that's T is in Tango, H is in Hotel, U is in Uniform, R is in Romeo, B is in Bravo, Z is in Zulu, A is in Alpha, N is in November, D is in Delta, B is in Bravo, E is in Echo, E is in Echo. So yeah, hope you have enjoyed this broadcast, and also happy Sunday to you if you're watching this on Sunday, or happy day to you if you're watching it some other time. And stay blessed by the best, and I will see you on the next one.